Hi and welcome to the Blue Globe 27 channel. My name is Grant and today I'm going to be talking to you about interest charging on customer overdue balances. The key benefits of this function is that it enables you to charge interest on overdue accounts quickly and accurately. You are able to calculate interest on overdue accounts on a monthly or daily basis. When calculating interest, it can also take into account unallocated payments. And as an option, interest can also be calculated as compounded interest. The interest charging function you will find in the system tree under Accounts Receivable, Transactions, Interest Charging. Alternatively, you can go to Transactions, Accounts Receivable, and Interest Charging. In the pop-up screen, this is where you will select the ranges of customers you wish to process. If you charge different rates of interest to different groups of customers, you may process separate groups or ranges of accounts separately. In the From and To fields, you select a range of customers to process. For this exercise, I have selected a single customer for demonstration purposes. You then also have the option of selecting groups. In the Groups range box, you can select one or more groups. The Foreign Currency range box, you can select one or more currencies. If you range on customer groups and or currencies, the system only includes customers who belong in all the different ranges. The calculation options, there are two options. You can calculate on outstanding balances. You select this option if you want to charge interest on the account's outstanding balance. This option will calculate interest for a selected period, usually on a monthly or weekly basis. Calculate on daily balance. You select this option if you want to charge interest on the account's outstanding daily balance. This option will calculate interest on a daily basis. For our exercise, we're going to use the Calculate on Outstanding Balance. The transaction details. You then need to select a transaction type. You choose the transaction type that the system must use to create the interest transaction. This should be a debit transaction and should not have tax or second transaction type enabled to it. We will now go and select the interest transaction type. You also have the option of incrementing the reference by ticking the tick box. We're going to leave this one open. You can enter a reference in here and a description of what you're going to do, and we're going to be charging interest in the month of May. In the dates and period block, this is where you will select the charge date. This is the date at which to calculate interest. The system will compare each transaction's date to this date to calculate the interest. We can then also check the Include Charge Date checkbox to force the system to include the start date in the interest calculation. The grace period. The system calculates interest on overdue amounts. By overdue, we mean transactions that are older than the customer's terms. You can extend these terms as far as the interest calculation is concerned. To do this, enter the number of days to extend the terms in the field. If, for example, a customer has a 30-day term and you enter 15 here, then the system will only charge interest if the transaction is 45 days old and will only charge interest from 45 days. For the charge period, this is the number of days for which you are going to be charging interest. If you charge on a monthly basis, you need to enter the number of days in the month for which you are going to be calculating the interest. Interest rates. You can derive interest rates in two ways. You can use the customer's interest rate setting. If you do this, the system charges customers according to their interest rate. If the interest rate on a customer's record is 0, the system does not calculate interest for that customer. You set customer interest rates in the customer maintenance function. You can also set the interest rates on the screen. To do this, choose whether to enter an annual, monthly, or daily rate, and then enter the interest rate itself. If you use this method, every customer in the range you select will have interest charges applied to overdue amounts at the interest rate that you enter here. In the unallocated payments block, you have three different options here. You can apply to oldest. The system applies all unallocated receipts to the oldest invoices and then calculates interest on the remaining balance. This is the most usual option. Note that the system does not save these allocations. It just applies them for the interest calculation. Then we have the ignore option. This system ignores unallocated receipts and charges interest as if the receipts are not there. You can then also skip the account. The system does not calculate interest for the account if it has unallocated receipts. In the minimum interest charge block, usually you do not want to charge customers interest when the interest amount is very low. In this field, you can specify a minimum value below which the system will not charge interest. If you specify R9.99 here, for example, the system will only create interest transactions when the interest amount is R10 or higher. The post-zero transactions tick box. If an account does not have any interest due, you can still get the system to generate a zero value transaction, which appears on the statement. Check the box to post zero transactions. To suppress zero transactions, untick the text box. Charge interval. Select the charge interval type you want to apply to the interest charging calculation. You can select between the date of invoice and the date of statement. Here we've decided to go on the date of statement. Compound interest option. If you wish to charge compound interest, in other words to charge interest on unpaid interest, check the charge compound interest checkbox. If you do not wish to charge compound interest, uncheck the tick box. The pop-up has now successfully been completed. Let's now do the calculation and see what happens with the interest calculation. Let's have a look at the log file. As you can see, the interest has successfully been calculated at R10.19. Let's see what it looks like on the statement. Okay, so we're looking for the month of May, and it's for the client PCT. Let's run the statement. And there we can see the interest rate was successfully charged to the client on their outstanding balance. In conclusion, we can see that the interest charging function in Evolution is very simple to use and easy to set up. This enables you to charge interest on outstanding balances of clients. Thank you for watching. Please contact us should you need any assistance or need to know more about interest charging. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and learn more about Sage, Evolution, add-on modules, and the customization we offer to streamline your business process. Thanks. Cheers.